Before we get started with the review, I do want to stress out again that Frostwarden is only available through Mystic Chest, and you cannot purchase the Mystic War Chest. You have to either purchase Yule or Silver, which you can with the gold, and then you have a drop percentage to get the Mystic War Chest. And I do not recommend you to buy War Chests if you're trying to get this tank, if you are a new player or a casual player, because even if you do get the Mystic War Chest, there's a list of tanks that you need to have. And the probability that you will get this tank is low. So if you're a new player not have that many tier 10s, I would say focus on tanks like tech tree lines or tanks that are available for raw value. If you have all the tanks, of course you can go for it. So with the, as I said, you can buy the Yule chest for 250 or 200 gold and silver chest for 600 gold. And if you there's a 2.5% chance to get a mystic war chest from the silver chest. If you buy 40 silver, you should be able to get one mystic. So in my case, I wasn't planning to get this tank, and I did say that earlier as well. Last year I ended up buying it, and this time I was like, no, I will not buy it. If there are tanks, I'm not gonna play with the probability or odds. But when I saw the drop, there was something a little better compared to last season, and the thing was the tank list, majority of it was the same. So I had most of the tanks. I had most of the tanks anyway, but even the one from the drop. So I had all the tanks in the mystic. So all I had to get was one mystic and I'll get the tank. And at the same time, so I was averaging out. So if I get the 40 chest, which is 24,000 gold, which is usually how much a tier 10 cost, I'll be able to get this tank because I had every other tank. And when I'm opening silver with the 40 tanks, with the 40 chest, I will also be able to get the new Winter Warrior through silver. So I was calculating, I thought only because I had every tank with 24k gold, I was able to get both tanks. In fact, I didn't even have to open 20 or 40 chest. I got it on my 23rd chest, both the Winter Warrior and Frostwarden. But again, as I said, if you're a new player, you don't have all the tanks, do not opt for it, because if you're focusing just on this tank, you're not going to get it. You're not going to get it. The good thing is the KPD from last year, it's still not really good thing. It's still chest locked, but it's available in silver. So that tank, if you only have all the tanks in the silver war chest and you're only missing KPZ, you can of course get that tank with your 40th chest. So overall, because the drops are the same from last year, the premium tanks dropped, and of course I had the tank, right? So it is better I knew I was going to get it, so I ended up getting it. But you would not get that value. If you're new, if you're casual, you don't have all the tank, you're not going to get the value. So don't open chest thinking you'll get the tank, right? We all feel that we're lucky, but to be honest, none of us are. On an average, it evens out. One of you might get lucky, but majority of you will not and end up paying on stuff and will feel frustrated. So focus on the tanks that you can get. There are other two that are earnable. So let's get started on the Frostwarden. As I said, right, even if you don't have a tank, it's not big of a thing. Even the KP07 from last year isn't the great tank. It's average, and it's actually worse than it was last year. And even this tank, it isn't that great that you must have it. I would say it's average, maybe slightly above average. It has a role, but at the same time, it's not super strong. So what is this tank? Frostwarden tier 10 medium mercenary tank. It has Murat hull. They buff the armor of the hull, but it's not buffed enough where you won't get pen. Similarly, they have Centaur turret. Buff the armor of the Centaur turret, but at the same time, you'll still get pen. It's better armor. It is slightly slower, but get more HP because it's heavyish. It's heavier, and for some reason, it has better camo than the Murat because of the Centaur turret, but it does have worse view range because of the Centaur turret. So, is it better than Murat? No, Murat is much stronger than this tank. The tank does not have the DPM, and even the gun handling felt a little derpy. Yeah, I can get to position almost as a Murat can, a little bit slow, but I just don't have that clip potential or even a single shot. It's just not there. It doesn't even have 2500 base DPM. There's a struggle. Even KPZ had 150 more DPM than this tank. And we look at play some other tanks with similar or more alpha, like 420 alpha or 440, like I said, Centurion Action 10. 35, they are close to 3000 DPM. So it's a good thing that the tank that is chest locked is not overpowered or broken, that whoever do get it are abusing the players that didn't get it. It's not like a Tehran. So it's okay, you know, it can do some things, but it has a role, but in general, I don't have super high alpha, it's 430, which is average these days anyway. And at the same time, the armor I will still get pen. It's 10 degrees gun depression, not like 12 like Murad, and gun handling isn't great. It got the Centauro turret, but it didn't get the premium APCR. So it doesn't have premium APCR, which is a problem. Again, the shell penetration isn't that good either. The premium is 310 heat, and I struggle with the super heavy. So not a fan of the penetration values. It could have been a different thing. I would have maybe made peace with the DPM if the shells were nice. It had premium PCR, or the shell velocity was better, but it's not. It's not. It has a good platform, but just the gun doesn't work. Let's get started with the setup. I'm of course focusing on gun accuracy, view range, and concealment. A mixture of standard, premium, and HE shells for equipment using gun rammer, gun stabilizer, hooded optics, and improved concealment using 3 large consumable, medkit, repair kit, and food. For my crew skills, I'm going with Bond Leader, Snapshot, Run and Gun, Camouflage Expertise, Situational Awareness, Radio Jamming, Comms Expert, Safe Storage, and Armor Angling. So playing a little bit from distance and of course close in when needed. Looking at the armor, your turret has some 300 plus mm of armor, and then 295 in the mantelette or central area. Your hull is better, 210, but still you will get panic because it's mostly flat. It's not as angled as E75 or even 100, but you might block more against your rates. You even get better side armor, 200 up front, and 150 the side of the turret as well as the hull. So you can side scrape as long as you can hide your shoulder. So you will bounce more shots towards the side. And the rear upper hull is 70 mm. Now moving on to the modules, same as Murat because that's where the hull is from. Engine is the back, fuel tank in the front. Ammo rack in the turret as well as in the hull towards the middle, and 4 crew members, 3 in the turret, the driver in the hull. Looking at the stats, this is of course after my equipment and skills. Forward goes 60, horsepower 1200, power weight 2707, so slightly slower than Murat, so not much of an issue. Hit points 200. Terrain resistance is 0.96, 1.01, and 2.21 for firm, medium, and soft. Concealment 285 still, 317 moving, so about 30 difference. Turret rotation 40. Accuracy during rotation 0.76. Yeah, even the accuracy during rotation is not good. Murad is much better. It has much better accuracy. And accuracy during movement is even worse. Your gun depression is 10 degrees, which is workable. Base accuracy is okay, 0.31. Accuracy during movement 2.25. Terrible. Terrible. Make sure you're not moving. Shell type, send APCR premium heat, and 30 HE. You have 2769 after all the equipment and stuff. Standard penetration 258, premium 310. DVP has 310, and I absolutely hate it. Alpha 430, and HE is 525. Cell velocity 1478 for APCR and 1173 for heat and HE. We don't get any silver bonus because it is a tier 10, and there are only rare tanks that get silver bonus at tier 10. We used to get no silver bonus for any tank, but we've seen M47 Black and T249, which does. But an average tank like this, we don't get. Also, the tank does come with the skin, but you still have to put blank camo to get that camo paint bonus. But it's unlike last year, we will not be able to get rid of the skin, which, to be honest, I think they should have done it similar to KPD last year, where you can put the skin on during the Christmas season and then remove it when it's the regular season, right? I don't want to play this tank throughout the year with the snow camo, and that's what I do with my 100 as well, and same with the KPZ. So they should have done that same thing. I don't like how it's permanent skin, especially when it's themed for a season. Let's see how the tank performs in a battle. I have two replays, one a bigger field map and another one in a smaller map, so you can see how the tank performs in big and small maps. As mentioned earlier, the one good thing about the tank is the mobility. It does have the Murat platform, so if you have to go somewhere, you'll get there quickly. What you do once you get there is a different matter. So going towards the hill at A0, very, very useful. I can easily take the hill. I can be there and get some shots early on, which you couldn't in other tanks that are slow. So getting into positions, one of their tanks gets spotted. Also your sidearm, because it's high, I have noticed that I bounce more shots than I should, probably because they're shooting heat. And I also, when I'm shooting heat, I was bouncing the sides of Frostwarden. The tank got spotted, and look at that bloom. The bloom is very high. One thing you can do is you can change the equipment if you want to improve the gun, of course, but improved ventilation instead of optics maybe. And if you want to further improve it, you can add gun laying drive instead of concealment. It depends on your playstyle. If you want to play a little bit more aggressive, it takes forever. So in the beginning, it's going well. I am actually hitting where I'm aiming and penetrating, so everything looks good. But you'll see in a little bit that when the penetration limitation come into play, as well as when I have to quickly aim because I'm spotted, things become very different. And there's T22 medium. Block the shot. It does block more than Murat, especially when someone's firing standard at your turret. If they're firing premium, they will of course pen you. The tank's Alpha 430 getting some decent roll, 474 on the IS-7, and the flamethrower soldier is just shredding. And with me we have Murat, if I'm not mistaken, and he's just, look at that, what Murat can do. That is what I cannot. The clip potential, the trading capability in Murat is very high. You might say Murat takes longer to reload, doesn't have the raw DPM. It doesn't matter, the situational DPM in Murat is much better. You'll always be loaded, you'll always have 3 shells loaded, and you'll be out trading enemies. And with that 12 degrees gun impression, it's no joke. It is no joke. But this deck, as I said, right, it's a good thing it's not as strong as Murat. At the same time, it's not bad. 2500 damage, trying to hitting their lower plate, as I just have a rough time hitting hatches. And now switch to heat, and there is the E100 going for that bar. It didn't hit the bar, it went to the upper cheek, and I bounced because I didn't have the pen. Murat has 330. I just don't like 310 heat. Do pen the T32. The Loki gamer, by the way, boys, if you're still not in regiment, join the Loki regiment. I mean, you can join anyone, but you don't miss out on the Regi points. We do have link in description for the community Discord as well as the clan, as you can only earn regiment tanks if you're playing in, if you are in a regiment, and you get more points if you're playing in with your platoon member that's also in the regiment. But I just bounced E100 again, and then I don't even know where that shell went. I understand there have been changes to crews, so that's why accuracy is worse, and with this tank you have to make sure you're stationary. So initially I was penning every shot, and now I just cannot seem to pen, and I did get penned in return. It's going towards the other side, so I have a different angle, and they're not focusing on me, and I can get some damage. And there it is, finally pen that E100. T32 is still alive, so is BZ68 going for its hatch. Taking my time to aim, did not hit the hatch. This shell did go where I aimed, but you can see how the gun is behaving. Not the best gun in the West. Taking my time to aim this time, and this one should have penned, I feel, but didn't, so it does get frustrating at times, and I'm like, you know what, I'm just gonna overpeak it. I don't care anymore. Hit a side, and I had heat loaded, so it got absorbed. So that was on me. If I was APCR, I would have penned. But once I start bouncing shots, I do get frustrated. He's shooting HE though. Another good thing is, you will not, if I'm not mistaken, because of the extra armor, AVRE will struggle to full pen you. Of course, if it high rolls, you know, it can, but it will struggle compared to a Murat, if it's looking at Murat's lower plate. So that's a good thing. Finally got a pen at BZ68, do have some assist damage as well, over peaking, so I can get a shot. He's down to one shot. He got set on fire, and I was running automatic fire extinguisher, backing up before he fires, because how many times can I take an AT shot and not get set on fire? I did try to test my luck again, and he fired AT. luckily, there were no casualties. So pushing forward, the Murad is pushing with me. I'll let him go forward since he has more HP and he can take the shot. And that was the right play. He did take 80 shot. Not sure if it was from Grill or was it from the Patton. Probably from Patton as well. And Grill is down to one shot, 5,700 damage. I'll get one more shot before my team jump to kill him. And the game will end at 62. I did buy the Ice Queen Commander this time because it was available for snowballs. I didn't get it last year, so I like the commanders that have the wheel. And it just suits with the tank. Frostwarden, Ice Queen, yeah, I should have Jack Frost, but Jack Frost wasn't available. For snowballs, I think. Now moving on to the next map, it is the smaller map. Again, the speed is good where you can take positions quickly, but how effectively you can hold it, it's a completely different matter. Every map I've played, I feel I would have done much better in Murat or in Centurion. Centurion hull is obviously easy to pen and it is a little slow, but the hull down it's just a monster. Re-aiming at the cross so I can do some early punish, and there it is. I've backed up a little too much, missed my shot on the Frostwarden, but it could also be because he's fast. He was able to cross much quickly than your regular or an average tank. Waiting for more people to cross. This side has an advantage as you can farm the cross. You can't do that from other side. So do prefer this side, but other side they have better control on the mid. There's our first target, Rhino. Not a good feeling. Imagine when you're crossing, you know, trying to get to position and get shot. You're like, man, I don't want to play anymore. I already lost my HP. Because it does happen with me. If I lose HP early on for no reason, I lose a little bit of morale. And I think it's true for most people as well. Waiting for more tanks. One of them crossed on the left, so peeked to see if someone's over here, but they're not. And T-54E1, he could have crossed, but he panicked. He got spotted and panicked, and a quick RBRT, I did pen. See, sometimes the gun works, but at the same time, when I do want it to work, the penetration against super heavy is a bigger issue, I would say, than gun handling, but gun handling is also, I would expect it to be better than it is. Our team is pushing over on the other side. Just supporting, not really doing anything. Not trying to be aggressive. Their Lehman is pushing around though. Our medium charging the Lehman. Another curse of playing new tank. Any new tank, but especially these winter chests, because obviously community is not happy how they are being sold with the Mystic War chest and how they are inaccessible. So you get special attention from the opponents. If they see you, they might just YOLO you and kill you, and even the artillery will prioritize you because in a way I did support something I'm not a fan of. It is unfair to new players, so I get it. I get it. But in my situation, as I said, I had all the tanks, and since I know even the next year, so for KPD I was expecting it'll be available straight out, but it is available in silver chest. So if I do have to buy it, I'll eventually have to buy it, and I am bored of my tier 10s and you needed some new toys. And since, as I said, because I had everyone, I was willing to take my chance. But if you don't, you shouldn't. Okay? If you're missing 20 of the tanks, do not think you'll get this one. Do not test your luck. So artillery giving me some love, and there's the grill, got spotted, and I missed. Missing out on damage unnecessarily. We are in a strong position though. 12 to 8. Standard B trying to rotate. Not today, Standard B. Not today. I do have decent amount of HP left. Pushing forward. Over on the left we have Baby Waffle, who is stopping our team's push. They're heavy, they're retreating towards their base. And another tank's getting spotted. CC Mark II. Because that's what I was thinking, why are they not pushing the baby waffle? Because he had support. Penned and tracked. And our team had good thing I tracked him and got some additional assist as he got penned and set on fire. Pushing forward to do the final cleanup. But yeah, do let me know what do you think about the tank. I guess we can all agree that it's a good thing that it's not super strong. I would say it's average, similar like KPZ was last year. I get the part that it's a rares and someone we want to play with a new toy, but you're not missing out. It's not going to ruin the matchmaking. You're not going to be helpless against this tank. You can just pick up your Murad and just dominate the field much more effectively than you can with this tank. So that's it for this video. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Have a great rest of your day.